2026 product certification for United Healthcare. This is just going to be a quick tour of the site, and we'll try to show you how to navigate. And there is a chance that, sometimes the carriers move things around throughout the season. So if what I'm showing you today doesn't show up exactly as I'm showing it, you still should be able to use the information in this short video to get to where you need to be in order to complete your certifications. So the one nice thing about United Healthcare is there's only one website that you have to log into. That website is called Jarvis, and we are logged into it right now. For your convenience, I'm putting a link to Jarvis in the top right corner of this video, which you can use to navigate directly to this site and complete your certification after you watch the video. As usual, and as often the case with United Healthcare, they're going to put information for you in multiple places on the website. They're really just trying to give you as many strategies as you can to navigate to the correct information. They do this with their sales tools. They do this with their certifications. So we're going to break this down for you the best that we can. So as you can see, I've already done my certification. So I have a link here that shows certification status. I'm going to click this and show you where it takes me. So you can see I have completed my base level, my dual and chronic special needs plan certifications. And I've also completed my events basic certifications. So you'll be able to see those once you're finished. So it's very possible and actually highly likely that you're going to see something different here. You may see a link to go choose which certification path you should take. I want to show you what that looks like here in 1 second. I'm going to scroll down just for a moment because also under Agent News, we have a link to learn more. You see this story here under Agent News. This will move throughout the season. But for now, there's a story here that we click Learn More, and it's going to explain some basics about the 2026 certification process. So that's another page that you can go to on this site. But for now, where we're going to go is to Knowledge Center. We're going to click this little down arrow. This should be the most stable pathway for you to get to where you need to be. We'll click the down arrow. And for now, we're going to click Ready to Sell. And so we did the arrow, and we selected Ready to Sell. And the reason I brought you here is I wanted you to see these pathways. So United Healthcare has put together a pathway list. Some of you will be eligible for the fast track pathway, and some of you will have to take the standard pathway. We'll talk about what that means in 1 second here, but as was the case last year, United Healthcare will also allow you to complete either the AHIP certification or the NABIP certification for your annual Medicare product certification that your results are going to get transferred into United Healthcare for. So the fast track, it only allows a quicker way to get through the certification. For eligibility, you either have to be a premier agent or you have to have been selling for United Healthcare for 2 consecutive years, writing 20 plus Med Advantage or MedSup apps, and no more than 1 complaint point in the last 12 months. So I actually really like this fast track model because there's some criteria, right? We're earning our way through performance and compliance to an abridged certification process. So I had the ability to go through the fast track. It was very, very quick, very, very easy. If you don't meet those criteria, you will be taking the standard pathway. And so once you've decided which certification pathway you want, you're going to go ahead and launch the Learning Lab. So we can do that here, or we can always go under Knowledge Center and just click Learning Lab. And again, this is a link that I anticipate being here all season. We're going to navigate to Learning Lab, continue to my dashboard, and then here you should have, let me click on completed. You should have the ability to complete your 2026 certifications. So mine are already finished. You're going to be choosing, again, either the 2026 Fast Track or the 2026 Standard certification. So you'll be able to find all those here. Mine are already finished. Here they are. You can see 2026 fast track completed at 100%, or maybe you'll be doing the standard. And you can see here, I still have to link up my AHIP score, which I will do promptly. Also, on the certification page in the top right corner, you have the study guide for United Healthcare. And while this loads, just kind of an important note, the way that most United Healthcare certification pathways work and have worked historically is you have this study guide where you go through the content, after which point you can go ahead and take the assessment. It's a little bit different than most carrier certification sites. If you're doing the fast track, you're not forced to go through this content. And very often is the case with most United Healthcare certifications, they don't force you to go through the content. But this study guide is here for you to go through to learn the basics of what you're going to be tested on. So we certainly would encourage you to do that. Take advantage of that study guide. I got to that right here inside the Learning Lab on the top right-hand side of my screen. I also want to point out this election period booklet. We reference this all the time. We get tons of questions about election periods. This is such a great resource. So I'd encourage you while you're in here doing your certification to also both look at this and maybe find in the site, you can search this document in the site, the job aid, and download it. We also have it on most of the agent sites that we share out with people that we work with. It gives you those specific details about election periods that you're going to need as you encounter those unique, situations throughout the year. So here it is right here. Now, when I'm in the actual certification like this, under additional resources is where I can download those resources, be it the study guide or that enrollment period certification that we were just looking at. So with that, the last thing that I want to point out, I want to go back to certifications, and let's say that I'm in the standard certification. You can see I'm at 0%. Here's the study guide. Okay. That's there for me. It's not required. At least for me, it's optional. You want to go through that content. The other really important thing that I just want to point out is when you take these assessments, be very dialed into the permissible number of attempts. You see here 0 out of 6. I get 6 attempts for these 3 assessments in the standard certification pathway. We don't want anybody going through all 6 attempts and not passing any of the assessments. And believe it or not, it can happen. You can get distracted. Maybe there's just a couple of questions that are worded strangely and you think you can get it right the next time, but you just keep getting it wrong. If you fail these assessments 6 times, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to get you the ability to write with that carrier for this year coming up, 2026. Be very aware of the attempts. If you start to struggle through those attempts, reach out to us. No shame in that. We certainly can't help you do these assessments, but we can coach you if you're struggling to get through those